Let's start. So today we will continue to study Flutter or uh, cross-platform development, and today we will dive into such interesting topic as animation. On the previous lections, you studied how to create good functional applications which can read some information from the internet or from other backends, show this information to users, communicate with users, and so on. But nowadays it's not enough because the market of applications, either it's mobile applications or desktop or web, pretty competitive, and your application to reach more users, your applications should not be just functional, should not just implement what they should or what they propose, but they also should be attractive, should be pretty interesting, and maybe should have something maybe even unexpected or unusual. And one of the way to achieve this goal is to implement some animations. Maybe it's our mental ability, possibility of us as humanity to pay attention in the on the first time for something which moves, changes their positions, and so on. And fortunately, Flutter, as any modern frameworks, has a lot of functions, a lot of classes, a lot of tools to implement or to add various types of animation into our applications. And today we will study how to achieve these ideas, how to use animations in your applications, and after that you will be able to create modern, funny, attractive application and so on. And let's start, and let's me to show you some examples from my recent projects. We will see these animations later. We will discuss how to implement animations on Flutter. As usual, we will study just base concepts, and after that I explain you how I implemented this animation. So the first example is pretty simple, and it's just a player. And when I run it to play, it will show some animation of playing process. So let's see. So as you can see, it's more interesting than just a simple button play, stop. We can see. Let's start. So here we can see that this player in the stage of playing. We can see the position of the sound and so on. And maybe more interesting example for you, it's a simple, let's check. Let's wait. This it's just a simple game with playing card, and as any game, the one of the main feature of any games it's animation maybe. And let's see, we can rotate cards, can swap cards, and so on. So it's does not matter what the main of this game, its rules. I wanted just to show you animation possibilities of Flutter. But even here, you can see that such ordinary actions as presenting some dialogues or changing or opening some pages of applications uh, implemented with some animations. Some of these animations are built in, even not in a Flutter, but in even host system, either iOS or Android or Windows or something else. But for the more complex animations, we can use some functionality from the framework. And as for Flutter, there are two main kinds of animations. It's implicit animations. On Ukraine, it means неявно, because in this kind of applications, you don't have a lot of control of these animations. As you will see a little bit later, we just can animate some small changes, animate changes of a small amount of parameters of some widgets. And another variant, explicit. In Ukraine, it's явна анімація, тобто in this case you have a full control over the animation process. So let's see, and at the first simple variant is implicit animations, and in Flutter we have a lot of, as you know, in Flutter everything is widget. Yep. And we have a lot of widgets for buttons, for images, for positioning widgets, and so on. And also, there are a lot of animated versions of these widgets. In the elections, in the election, I enumerated several such widgets. For example, a container, as you know, it's super huge, super powerful widget which allow you to specify a lot of parameters such as size, color, padding, and so on. And we have animated container to animate these parameters. Animated opacity, when we when we want to have some transparency for widgets, we can use the opacity widget to set the level of transparency, and animated variant, animated opacity, which can change this value of transparency for the given range, and so on. And let's mm, code something. Yep, so it's not. It's more interesting than just reading the instructions. So let's see our standard, our standard counter application, which Flutter create by default for the new projects. Wait a moment. Mm, The first run usually takes some time, and right now I don't have electricity and have only mobile internet, so it's more, maybe not so quick. So it's moment. It's our ordinary application with button, counter text. Let's add some. Let's add a color bar here, and the width of this bar should depends on the counter value. So let's code. Let's say remove some unneeded comments. Yeah, because we all know these moments. So let's add here a container. Yeah, okay. This container will have the same height, and width should depend on the count. So let's yep. Oh, and color. Let's colors count. Right. Yep. So this is photo reload. Yep. Our cool feature of Flutter. And as you can see, when we click on the button, the counter value is changed, and the width of this container also changed. But as you can see, it's not interesting. It's just uh, quick changes, quick of the width, and not so interesting. Let's change. Let's add some animations. But one of the needed, sorry, one of the required parameter of any animations is its durations, i.e. its amount of time for which this animation will take. So let's add duration. So in this code, we talk to Flutter, draw the container and change its size from the previous one to the change its width from the previous value to the new one, and the new one here, and change animate these changes for the 2 seconds. So let's start. Unfortunately, it's not so quick. This is our initial position, and as you can see, we just have the width of this bar of 10 pixels. Yep, 10 points, and start. As you can see, uh, the size of this bar changes continuously for some period. Let's little bit update for more visibility in milliseconds. So as you can see, just adding two additional lines of code, we added some animations for our application. And now it's more interesting than just a quick change from one stage to another stage. And as I already said, there are a lot of widgets, a lot of animated versions of widgets, and you can read this information from the Flutter documentation. As usually, we have, for example, this text, docs, Flutter dev, and animations. There are a lot of text, a lot of videos how to use, how to initialize these animations and so on. So I recommend you just to read these videos and you will get maybe not the whole vision, but a lot of information about possibility of animations. Because I also don't remember all all these widgets, and when I need to implement something, I open the Flutter Docs portal and find which widgets are most useful in this particular case, and just read all parameters for these widgets. But as you can see in this kind of animations, we can change only one parameter maybe and just set the duration, but it's not enough for the complex or for the more interesting variant of animations. That's why Flutter also has explicit animations, and this kind in this kind of animations, you have the full control of this animation process. You can change the directions of this animation. You can change a lot of parameters. And let's discuss how to implement this kind of animation. At home or later you can read this text again and try to play with any interest any of these widgets, and you will see what was functionality this widgets provides for you. So let's talk about explicit animations or how to control animations in Flutter. And one of the main concept or one of the main thing in animations in Flutter, it's twins. Twin is an object which contains two values, the begin value and the end value of something. It could be everything. It could be just double, for example, the width of our container, or it may be some opacity level or something else. It's even maybe your custom class. If your class, if you need to animate something more complex than just width of container. And as Flutter strictly typed language, we use these twins like this. I.e., we create a twin class and parameterize it with some type, for example, double or something else. Also, there are some special classes, for example, color twin, because color uh, consists of at least four parts. Yep, it's alpha level and red, green, and blue values for color. Why twin? Maybe it's interesting for you, but it's simple. It's just acronym for the word between, because we have two values, and the animation process just change this value between these two values, between begin and begin, and between begin and end of the these values. And also, as usually, to control some process, we need a class controller. We need some class which can rule by the animation. And in Flutter, we use animation controller. It's yep, it's nothing unexpected. So by combining these two things, twin and animation controller, we can create any kind of animations. It may be pretty complex, pretty interesting, and pretty long animation. But why we need two things? Yep, why we need animation controller and why we need twin? Why we cannot just say to controller which things should be changed? It's just for it's an example of good idea of programming, which call it separation of concerns, when each, let's say, each class implement only one feature and work only one job, do only one job. It's a very good approach. And you will see later in your practice in the future that it's a good idea to use such separation. And animation controller just change the progress of animation. and change from the 0 to 1, from the start animation to the end animation. Uh, you can think about these values as of how percent of animations already completed. You have from 0% to 100%. And depends on this value, depend on the current animation progress. Twin can calculate the current value of changed parameter, either it's width or either it's color and so on. Also in controller, we can run animation forward. We can run animation back. We can repeat animation because usually when you run an animation, it starts from 0, and for the given duration, it reaches the progress 1 and stops after this. But if you want to repeatedly animate something, use corresponding method repeat. So let's update our code, but also one important moment. mm, Maybe I should start from this point, but it does not matter. So, in general, how can we implement animation? It's pretty easy. Yep, you know that if your widget have some state, if your widget has some state, you can change this state, but by calling the method set state. So to implement animation, we can just run some timer. Let's say some periodic timer for 1 per second. And each timer's tick, we can change our parameter, for example, the width of our bar, and call set state for to apply these changes. And it will work, but it will not work, as to say, smoothly during some limitation. But from other side, as you know, Flutter says that it can run 60 frames per second. So Flutter already have some built-in timer, and we can use this timer. And it's a more correct way because this internal timer ticks in that moments when we can update something. It ticks between frame representing, and it's more correct way to change something, or to update something in our widget. So that's why animation controller has this controller has a lot of parameters, but required two of them. It's again a duration, because it's base parameter for any uh, animations, and vesting. It's an object. It's some kind of timer or object which provides ticks, and in these ticks, in these moments, we can change some our parameters. And as I said, our widget has built-in timer, and we can use this timer, for example, with a single ticker provider mixin. We also have a multi-ticker provider mixin, but for our goal, it's enough. But one moment. Sorry, interruption. Let's start. I will not create everything from the stretch. I just copy paste to save time. So let's paste this code into our project, my home page. We add this mixin to use for our application. You can change. You can see what does this mixin do. It's, as you can see, it's sticker. It creates sticker, and from time to time it ticks. So it's not pretty complex, but again, it's this ticker is synchronized with the Flutter rendering process, and this makes this will make our animation more smoothly. So we added this mixing. Let's add this things. So it's animation controller, which will control our animation process, and we will change the size of our container and color, and we will change these parameters with animations. So let's init. So we don't have init method here. So let's copy paste. Yep, it's not good practice. Yep, copy paste, but for the uh, when I wanted it's that it's bad practice, but as you can see, copy paste can produce some unexpected errors. So to try to avoid such kind of programming. What we did, we create a controller, and we pass as parameters our widget, because as I already said, with this single ticker provider state mixin, our widget can add as built-in timer, and in this case, our animation controller will change its progress in the appropriate times, and we set a duration as it's another required parameter. Also, we create animation. So we create animation for size, and in Flutter we specify the size of widgets in uh, points, and we use the double type for these points. So we create a twin, create a twin for the double value and the begin value 100, and the final value is 200. And we can, I just combine two things in this line. We created a twin here and create an animation based on this twin. Also, we create a color animation. We use color twin, and we will animate the color of our container from blue to yellow. And we can check, for example, for many classes of Flutter, you will see this strange method, leopard, but it's not strange or maybe not something unexpected. It's just a liner interpolation. And this method try to generate some value from the begin in the line maybe from the begin to end in with some period of time or with some progress. And this method very useful to animation because this method ask Flutter how to get a new value of your class or for the color, for example. And for one my project, I created such method for my class. It was needed for complex and unusual animation. So we created animation for colors from the blue to yellow, and also this animation will be controlled by our controller. We can use different controllers for different animation, but for this kinds or for this example, we want to have this animation synchronized with each other. And very important thing that yep, I forgot this line. Yeah, yep. To additional moments. So controller will change something, and it can inform other objects about these changes. We can add a listener. This is a method which will be called each time when a controller change its progress. And for now, it's nothing special. We just call set state to update our widget. I.e., we implement that idea which I told before. I told you before that we just need to wait some time to update some values and call set state to apply these changes to our widget. So in this simple variant, we just we just will call this set state method just to rebuild our application. And as you by default, when we create animation controller, it will run the forward method to start animation, but we can override this, just call repeat. And in this case, we told to controller that our animation should run from start to end, and after that from end to start and infinitely. And after that, the one important thing we should add this method because a lot of controllers, animation controller, text controller, and so on, they use some internal resources for their work. And at least they use some memory to perform the functionality. And we need to release these resources when they will not need it for us. Because everywhere you will have a problem with resources. And in each platform, resources are limited. That's why when you use something, and if this something is not needed for you anymore, just release this, just inform either framework or either operation system that this resource is not needed for you. It may be a memory, it may be file descriptor, and it may be socket and so on. But remember this rule that if you use some resource and release this resource when it not needed. For Flutter, for widgets, as we cannot control the life cycle of widget. But we know then when our widget is removed from the widget tree, Flutter will call the method dispose. And in this method, you can release all resources that is not needed anymore for your current widget. For our example, it's a controller, and we call controller that our widget will not use it, and you can dispose any resources that you use. So it's common practice when you create some controllers, right after that, override the dispose method and dispose all these controllers. And after that, let's simplify our code. Let's simplify. Let's remove this. Let's remove this and just add body center. Да? Yep. So we will show in the center of our application just a container, and this container will update its size and its color. So let's run and let's check. And so you can see that we change this container, and it repeat again and again and again. We can check, for example, let's Yeah, let's use the super debug tool, the print method, and we will see that our widget rebuilds each time. One moment. As you can see, there are a lot of build the method messages because for the 2 seconds mm, we rebuilt a lot of times our widget because each time when animation controller change it progress, our color animation and our size animation due this call uh, receives this new progress, and based on this progress change this colors or size respectively, and controller also do as this listener method call the set state, and our widget will rebuild, and will use new values for the size and for the color. So it's base idea of animations in Flutter. So we can use implicit kind of animation when you don't need to complex control for this animation, and when you need just some simple, and as you so it's just 2 additional lines which create animation for you. For more complex animation, we can use animation controller, use twins, and with these twins, you can parameterize your animation as you need it. One again, one important thing, it's as if releasing resources or disposes resources is related for very language, for every framework, and so on. Another thing is more related to Flutter. Very often we don't need to update the whole screen or the whole page, because as you can see here, we can see up bar which is not changed for the whole life of the application. Only this part of our screen changes. So the better variant is to split this our home page at least to 2 widgets, and one of them will be just up bar, and another, and it could be even stateless widget, which uh, are more simple and lightweight for the Flutter. And this part of our screen could be another stateful widget. And in this, in such approach, only this part of our screen will be updated. But again, it's not. I'm pretty sure you all know these ideas. I told about this approach on the previous lection, so it's not something new for you. And it's one of the point of using Flutter, or good advice of using Flutter, to split your screens into set of small widgets, and such granularity will help you create more effective uh, widgets. But it's you need some practice, you need some experience to achieve this approach or to test this approach. And another interesting thing that even if you need some complex animation, very often you don't need to create your animation controller, or you don't need to do it by yourself. There are animations, да, animations. There are a lot of packages in the pubdev with animation. You can just install these packages and use in your applications. Okay, you can see some example, some transition, and so on. Yeah. Also another variant, simple applications, simple animations, animations. A lot of functions, a lot of possibilities, so you can use this variant of animations. And as I promised, let's check my code. Yep, let's check this game once more. So, for example, for this game, we have playing card which are placed in some pattern, and what we can do. We can rotate these cards, and we can swap these cards with each other. By the way, here you also can see this small animation because it's a good idea to show users of your application that something happens or some process in your application. And this feedback from application to users is very useful. But again, it's not indirectly related to our today lecture, but it's just advice for the future for you. So how can we implement this animation? Not so complex, and I implemented this just by using standard widgets on Flutter. So here it's game table for this part of screen, and I describe one playing card with the game card widget. And this card, as for animations, this card has two important parameters. Its position on the board and its state, either it rotated or not. So it's row call is back, and it is visible. It's for the implementing deck. It's not important currently for us. And to implement swapping, I use just uh, animated positioned widget in you can use this positioned widget inside of the stack widget, and you can specify position of your widget. For example, left top, it's left, it's the distance between the left border of your screen to your widget, and top from the top of screen to your widget. And duration and child, which should be moved to the new position if something changed. At the beginning board view model 6, at the beginning, new game, да, new game. At the beginning of the game, I put all my card into the deck, into this deck position. And after that, I will start to change the positions and change the state. When when a player tap on some card, I just change the position of this card in row and column. And after that, I notify listeners about these changes. As you remember, we can use change notifier to inform part of our application when something changed. Mm, just to recall our lection about state management. When on the board position card was changed, let's open. This position will be changed in the animated way. So we rebuild this card in another position, and from previous it will be moved from the previous position with to a new position with some duration. Uh, and it's nothing special, nothing complex, more interesting variant with card rotation. It's some kind of switcher, yep, because our card is placed, can be into state rotated or not rotated. And again, we have animated switcher, but here we can pass a method which will change or will which will prepare a new view of our widget. And here we can see that we can calculate position. And how do we calculate this? We just use the rotation angle, yep, from the p radians when our card is placed with back state to us, to 0 when card placed with face to us, and with some animation. And here we can use another class animated builder, which will build our widget during this animation process. Also, yeah, I use transform widget will allow us to perform some transformation of our widgets. At the moment, I just rotate our widget, and with this animated switcher, we can rotate these cards. And let's remove something. So with these abilities of Flutter, these functions of Flutter, you can create nice, good, attractive, interesting applications. And I hope this information will help you to create good applications and get a lot of users for your application. So that's all we will read this lecture. We'll perform, we'll implement some tasks for the labor, and we will get not only some knowledge, but and also experience of the animation. So at that moment, that's all, and I ready to listen your questions.